inaccessible to him in their home, and then not letting Oxford school officials know about its existence during a disciplinary meeting at the school the morning of the shootings. John Hewitt for the Michigan News Network.
Snowmobile season kicks off Thursday on Michigan trails, but if you want to buy a new snowmobile, they might be hard to come by. Extreme Power Sports salesman Brody Markovich in Gaylord says supply chain issues have hit them hard. Markovich expects the issues to be a problem for a couple more years, but he says people are getting out and having fun. Happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A wind advisory continues. Mostly cloudy and breezy for today. Any rain showers and early. Then a few flurries become possible during the afternoon. Temperatures fall throughout the day. Winds turn to the west, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Gusts could get as high as 45 miles per hour. Tonight, a few flurries still possible before midnight, then clearing. Winds still fairly breezy. Lows make it down into the middle 20s. Thursday, mostly sunny. Highs top out near 36. Then lows drop to 27 on Thursday night. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 33.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show for a Wednesday midweek. Nice to have you with us today. We'll have open phones later on, and on Focus, we will talk to Mike at Westside Decorating Center. That's coming up for you this morning. But we're going to start out this morning talking to that gem that sits in Saginaw County for tourism, known as Frankenmuth. And we're going to do that with its city manager. We say good morning to Bridget Smith. Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
You too.
And you can watch us on the stream. That's why I said good to see you again, because I can actually see her this morning and she can see me. Sorry about that. There's a couple of things I want to talk about before we get to all the good news out there in Frankenmuth. There is some kind of sad news because this has not been a good year for Frankenmuth in terms of losing leadership. You have lost quite a number of notables in that community, haven't you?
We have. It has been a rough few months,
to say the least, including Judy Zenderkeller. It's part of life, though, isn't it? You have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and move on.
Yeah, and you know, for each of these individuals, they've all left such a legacy that in that sense it's a little easier because, you know, you can kind of ask what they would do in some of these situations and how they would like to be remembered and honored.
Well, I mentioned Judy on purpose because one of the things we're going to talk about is an expansion of the Bavarian Inn Lodge and to add another water park to Frankenmuth. Tell us about that.
Well, I don't know another word for expansion, but it's not just an expansion. It's a 140,000 square feet. So
it's a reinvention. How's that?
So like 3.25 acres almost. And
where is it located? At the lodge?
At the lodge proper. So they've the Bavarian Inn Lodge has always been a big believer in providing far more parking than what city code would require. So they're able to do a portion of their expansion into some of their existing parking lot.
And it's going to be what?
Well, the expansion is both this aquatic center and then also additional space for their family fun center, which is located in the lower level.
Mm-hmm. And is there a time frame?
The construction trailers are on site. I think the
Oh, wow.
groundbreaking is in 2 weeks. And I think the intent is to have the Family Fun Center portion complete first and then move into the Aquatic Center. And I think that's slated for completion by the spring of 2024.
Now, I have to ask this question, knowing Frankenmuth. The water park from Zenders is already there, Splash Village. There room for 2 aquatic centers? I guess there is, huh?
Well,
'Cause they
there's
do it,
room
do it.
for
Don't make mistakes.
there's room for 2 chicken dinner restaurants.
Yeah, that's true. Right across the street from each other. And they do have friendly relations. I mean, they're all in it together for the
Right.
town. It's all about the town, isn't it?
It is. And one of the interesting things about all of the business within the city is our owners are entrepreneurs, and so they're always looking for the next thing. If you want that white picket fence, you always have to be painting it white. So they're always looking for, I think, new ideas and ways to stay current and relevant as things change.
And all of that, realistically, is to keep Frankenmuth on the top of the tourism list,
Exactly.
because that's how the town survives, isn't it?
It
really
is.
I mean, just how you rarely ask this of anyone. I think everybody knows the answer, but how important is tourism, not only to Frankenmuth, but to Saginaw County and the region?
Well, I mean, just looking at the numbers, 3 million people visit Frankenmuth each year, and we're very proud of that fact. But we know that those visitors don't all stay here. That we hope that what we do in our small city helps buoy hotels and restaurants in surrounding areas.
Is it your sense that the tourism is back to where it was pre-pandemic?
It is. This is our busy season. We pretty much get busier every weekend until Christmas. But what I've been hearing is hoteliers are having a good season as well, and that restaurants, businesses are starting to see levels where they were pre-COVID.
The expansion of Bavarian Inn Lodge is only one item. Apparently, there's a matching grant coming to the city for beautification. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, I'm happy to. So, Frankenmuth doesn't just wake up looking like this. We have a dedicated team of volunteers who each year raise more than $100,000. That takes care of our hanging baskets. It keeps our flags waving downtown, and it handles our Christmas decorations.
Bridget,
So,
let me ask, how much of that is a city function?
well, of the 100,000, their total budget is about $150,000. So the city contributes about $20,000, and then the DDA contributes the remainder. So of the $150,000 budget, $100,000 is donations.
That's a lot.
Yes, and they do it every single year.
It's
So
not just now either, is it? It's year round, isn't it?
it is, and it actually began in 1955. It was one of the original founders was Wally Bronner, and it was his vision was that Frankenmuth should be beautiful, and so that's the whole purpose of city beautification. So he also started an endowment fund, kind of looking to the future. So the goal was for this endowment fund to get to $1 million, so it could supplement fundraising efforts and let city beautification not just do basic maintenance like replacing flags and installing Christmas decorations, but to really give them some flexibility so they could do new new items and replacements and repairs. So we were approached by an anonymous donor who is willing to commit up to $500,000 and will match dollar for dollar into the endowment fund every donation made to city beautification.
How close is the endowment fund to $1 million?
About $500,000 away.
Funny how that worked.
Yes, it is.
So that money will be used then to just continue the beautification process in the city of Frankenmuth.
Right. It really allows it to be transformational. I mean, Frankenmuth is incredibly blessed. We have very generous residents, very generous businesses, but we know that tourism can be cyclical. We've learned through COVID that raising money, going to the same well year after year can be very difficult. Yeah. And we see this as an opportunity to really kind of future-proof Frankenmuth and keep it beautiful. And no gift is too small.
And who's responsible for all the Christmas lighting going up?
So that's a mix. The Chamber of Commerce actually spearheaded what is called the Christmas experience, starting actually during COVID, because we couldn't gather and do Christmas and the holidays the same way that we have. So the Chamber has spearheaded, or the Convention and Visitors Bureau has spearheaded the spectacular Christmas tree, the singing Christmas tree, along with the ice rink. And then in cooperation with City Beautification and the Downtown Development Authority, that's kind of how all the trees are wrapped down Main Street. We also have businesses who have participated and have paid to have their own trees in front of their business wrapped. So it's almost a cornucopia, like a quilt of Christmas decorating.
Is the Christmas and the holidays celebration back to where it was pre-pandemic in terms of activities?
Yeah. The Chris Kindle market has been going on now 2 weekends. And I think the Thanksgiving weekend was a wild success, bigger crowds than were anticipated. We also have a shuttle that is operating, a Star shuttle that is operating downtown that will loop people from parking areas on the north and south end of town without making them drive. So you can park near Uptown North Main, just north of where Kroger is, and get on the shuttle, and it'll take you everywhere from Willie's Sausages to the skating rink to the visitor center.
That's good news, because anybody that's been in that town during high season knows what traffic is like.
Yes.
If you know the back streets, you're better off.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Well, Bridget, look, congratulations on the matching funds for the beautification, and can't wait to see what's next in Frankenmuth. I hope you and yours have a very great holiday time, and we'll talk to you probably in the new year, I would think.
Well, I look forward to it. Have a wonderful holiday. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Same here. Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bridget Smith, and she is the city manager for the city of Frankenmuth. We thank her for her time this morning. We're going to take a break. For the remainder of the Art Lewis Show, it's open phones. Whatever you would like to chat about, give us a call, 989-752-6111.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Support small this holiday season. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. New this year, December 17th, Santa Shop, where the kids can buy items under $10 from local retail small businesses, wrap them up, and give them to family and friends. We thank you for the businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located at 203 South Washington, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Experience our new menu and our historic atmosphere. Custom burgers, flatbreads, craft beer, and more. How about Thursday beer night and happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m.? Join us Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Attending an event downtown Saginaw? Show us your tickets for 10% off your entire purchase. Support small, get on board, and we hope to see you inside the boardroom.
You want to be a showstopper like The Miz? Or want to have a game plan? Whether you're a champion or a bettor, you've got to be responsible. The DraftKings Sportsbook offers all the tools you need. You can set a realistic budget and bet within your means. You can set time, deposit, and wager limits so you can have a personal game plan for having fun while being responsible. I practice safe bets, and so should you. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn about all these tools and more.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/responsible gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalize this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one. Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest numbers out show private sector job creation was much weaker than expected. According to the November ADP report, there were 127,000 new jobs created, well below the 200,000 analysts were expecting.
Hospitality added 224,000, but there were job losses. Manufacturing, 100,000. Professional, business services, financial activities, IT, goods producing services, 86,000 jobs.
Fox's Cheryl Casoni. Inflation has dropped across the Eurozone for the first time in 17 months. Consumer prices rising by 10% in November versus a 10.6% jump the previous month. And Major League Baseball sells its remaining shares of a streaming service technology company, BAMTech, to Disney for $900 million. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu,
Starting to realize your small business is a little overwhelmed by the holiday rush? It's still not too late to get all of your shipping and mailing under control with Stamps.com. Sign up right now, and you'll be printing your own postage in just minutes with discounted USPS and UPS shipping rates. Just go to Stamps.com, click the mic at the top of the page, and use code BUSINESS for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, code BUSINESS.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You have an opportunity to make this holiday season very special for some very special children. You are invited to join WSGW and our Alpha Media family of stations, along with Covenant Kids, Tim Hortons, and Impact Saginaw Credit Unions for Lights Before Christmas. During the week of December 6th through the 10th, each night at 8 p.m., lights will be shined for 2 minutes towards the windows where kids are hospitalized at Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw. You can bring your own light shining device. 100 attendees, free flashlights will be given away. Fire departments, police, MMR will all shine lights too. Plus, with your help, each child will receive a toy, as you can donate new, unwrapped toys at Covenant Healthcare or participating Tim Hortons or Impact Saginaw Credit Union locations. For specific toy donation locations and all the information you need, please visit WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and click on the Lights Before Christmas box.
Larkin calmly picks it up, slowly makes his way in on goal, now steps it up, shoots and scores!
A 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And the Art Lewis Show, open phones for the remainder of the program right through 11 o'clock this morning. So you're welcome to give us a call and chat about whatever happens to be on your mind. We have a number of things to talk about. One thing I want to start with, though, it's very much in the news. You've heard a lot about it, is the potential for a rail strike. Yes, a railroad strike. What's happened is the industry negotiated, along with the administration, a contract which included a 24% raise and other benefits. But the unions that voted against it say that there was not enough effort made for paid time off for illness. And so 4 out of the many, many rail unions voted against it. And all it takes is one, really, because if one goes on strike, they all go on strike, which to the nation would be an absolute disaster. You think you have supply chain issues now. Wait till you see what happens if the rails actually went on strike. Products wouldn't be available. The ones that would be available would be very expensive. It would not be a pleasant picture, and it would affect all sectors of society. They estimate that at least 30% of everything moves via rail. You may not think of that because, we're not a big rail nation when it comes to, for example, passenger transportation. Although in major cities, it is a significant mover of people. But we're not rail conscious as Europe is in terms of moving people. But the bulk of the trackage is owned by freight railroads. And they move many, 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 many tons of goods each and every day. The American Petroleum Institute said that it would be critically important to all sectors because a disruption has the potential to reach every aspect of the U.S. economy. It could literally cripple the nation for a period of time, which is why historically, and I don't remember now what the number is, 18 times or something like that, Congress has stepped in and imposed a solution. They've literally imposed a contract because of what it would mean to the country if the rails went on strike. Now, this action, which the president supports, Nancy Pelosi supports, has put them on tenuous ground with their large supporters, unions. A little history here. 12 unions representing the railroad workers have been negotiating a new contract with the rail carriers for nearly 3 years. And what they want is sick leave, which apparently they don't have, which surprises me. They want more flexibility in schedules and a raise. And union leaders agreed with the Biden administration, who brokered a deal earlier this year. But as I mentioned, the rank and file of 4 of those unions rejected it. And primarily when you talk to them and when you hear what they have to say, it is over the sick leave issue. I mean, there's a 24% pay raise in there. We'd all like to get a 24% pay raise. But the sticking point appears to be the sick leave issue. And that has always been an issue, apparently, with the railroads. So the president has called for Congress to pass legislation overriding the union members' objections. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said the House will take up the measure. Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer said he and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell agreed to try and get it done. So it would appear that once again in history, Congress will step in and impose a settlement on the railroads. Then you may ask yourself, well, why can they do that on the railroads? They can't do it in other industries. Well, the rails are viewed as not only economic security of the country, but all kinds of security for the country, being able to move goods. That would include being able to move, for example, military goods should the need arise. So the rails have always been looked at differently. As a matter of fact, they have their own retirement system. They don't participate in Social Security, for example. The Federal Retirement Act. So we have reached a point where Congress is likely, now that 4 unions have rejected the deal, and it doesn't appear that there's any more negotiating to right the deal, Congress will act and impose it. What do you think about it? As I mentioned earlier, it's put the president and Nancy Pelosi and the other leaders in direct opposition to the unions, who are their huge supporters. But that's not likely to change, even though this particular issue is against the willpower of those unions. They'll still have union support in the long run because mostly what they do does support the unions. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we are going to come back, and we will get to Chris on the road when we return.
Hello, this is Kevin from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are Mid-Michigan's premier CPL Academy. Our instructors teach the fundamentals of self-defense in a friendly environment using state-of-the-art video fire range to help you build self-defense skills and learn proper technique. Visit our website, simu-range.com, simu-range.com, to book your training session today. Use code RADIO25 to save $25. Applied Training Solutions, forward thinking, on target training.
Is there anything better than just sitting outdoors enjoying nature? Well, I mean, I guess this chair could be a recliner. That'd be better. But there definitely wouldn't be anything better than that. Unless, of course, the recliner had one of those fancy built-in massagey things. Oh, and a bacon skillet.
There's always a better way to do things. With triple stacked Enlist E3 varieties for proof, soybean seed is seed done right. Zetavo from MS Technologies is distributed exclusively by BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals going on right now from Kokomo's Family Fun Center, Westside Decorating, Third Gen Tire and Service Center, Applied Training Solutions, and Style Encore. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't.
Short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey, girl. Here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, another episode of What the Heck Did Joe Biden Do? Josetta Stone's ready.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and let's go to our phones. Chris is on the road in Kochville someplace. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
I don't know who would accept a contract with no sick leave benefits or improvement in whatever they had. And you can't bank. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm stuttering for words. I can't understand how anybody would accept that.
Well, I have to tell you that 8 out of the 12 unions did. 4 of them objected to it. And I don't know, I really, Chris, I don't know what the current sick leave policy is, if there is one. And they make it sound like there isn't one, which would surprise me. As you have indicated, it would surprise you too. But I'm going to have to look that up and find out. But just remember that 8 out of the 12 unions did approve the deal. And if they have not had sick leave, then these deals have been approved or imposed throughout the history of the industry. I would think there'd be some kind of sick leave. I mean, every company has sick leave, don't they? That I know of. But I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, how can you have any benefits at all, and not have some kind of a bank to fall back on in case you get you get sick, you got to be away for a couple of weeks or 6 weeks. You break your leg.
How about a couple of days?
You got to have some.
How about a couple of days? I mean, most companies don't give you weeks and weeks, but they do give you, maybe a week's worth or something like that. Or it increases based on seniority, what have you. But again, I don't know the railroad contract language and what they have and don't have. I'm going to have to look that up.
Right. Okay. Well, let us know what you may find out.
I will do that. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Mark in Gladwin. Mark, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, so on the topic that you're talking about, to me that was a midterm gather votes on the midterms. He took a victory lap saying he had that train situation secured. He also took a victory or reassured people that took out loans for student loans for colleges that was going to be taken care of. That's since been kicked down the road, but 9 to 8 million people has signed up for that. How affected the midterms as far as people's voting?
I don't think it did.
No,
I don't think so. No, I really don't. The college loan thing had been, if I remember right, was halted by the court before the election, if I'm not mistaken. And the railroad strike, I doubt very much if that impacted very many votes. I doubt it very much. I understand what you're saying. That he was trumping the fact that he got it all done. Oh, maybe that's a bad word to use. He was he was vocalizing the fact that he got it all done and hadn't. But I don't think that was a significant player in the voting this time.
No, I understand that. I mean, there were spokes in the wheel. You had your student loan, you had your union, and many, many others that make up what we vote upon. But with 8 to 9 million people signed up for that student loan program, and saying that they even extended the loan program as far as making no payments to see if they can't fix that. But I would have to imagine in certain counties that were very close. I know you say people vote D and people vote red or Republican right down the ticket, but they were given false promises and false. I just see that as an integrity and false promises that were made to the Democratic, or Republican voters out there. I think that's swayed it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't think they were big enough issues to move the table. They weren't big enough issues to overcome, for example, the abortion issue, which would have countered anything. That was a major player in a lot of states, including this one. So I understand what you're saying, but let's understand that politicians always tout what they do, even if it doesn't happen. That's politics, and it's been that way forever. But I don't see these two issues as moving the needle very much. I hear what you're saying, and it probably moved a couple of people, but not to the extent that would change an election, for example. I don't believe it. That's just my opinion.
Okay. You got time for another topic or no?
Real quick.
Well, 53% of America has been vaccinated. How does that offset with the millions that have come across the border unvaccinated?
That question I do not have an answer for.
Okay, fair enough.
That one I don't have an answer for. Take care. Bye-bye, Mark.
Take care. Bye.
All right, lines are open for you, 989-752-6111, whatever you'd like to chat about.
Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you shop for your holiday gifts. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Have a wild holiday and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones this season. Stay connected to what is happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at saginawzoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about learning and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is Staples. So rumor has it that Staples has everything I need to ship.
We have all the shipping supplies and services you need.
Boxes?
Yep.
Mailers?
Yeah, and we have UPS here in store.
What will Staples think of next?
right?
No, seriously, I'm asking, what will they think of next?
Staples is your one-stop shipping destination. Now get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item in-store or online with 1-hour pickup. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping. Ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary. Clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
Cornelius Johnson, he makes a man miss. He's in the clear. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, CJ. He's got a man wide open. It's Cornelius Johnson again, John. He's in the clear. CJ to the... One play. Touchdown. Hands it off to Donovan Edwards, and he's in the clear, John. They will not catch Donovan Edwards. Yes. Michigan improves to 12-0.
After beating rival Ohio State in back-to-back seasons, the second-ranked Michigan Wolverines will try to make it back-to-back Big Ten championships when they battle the Purdue Boilermakers in the conference title game this Saturday night at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW. As always, Michigan football is brought to you by Lingle Equipment Company in Saginaw, Schaefer and Beerline Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolf Isles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. It's Michigan and Purdue in the Big Ten Championship, live Saturday night at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. There is some kind of sickness benefit available to railroad workers through the Railroad Retirement Board, but it's a complicated thing, and I didn't get to read the whole benefits book yet as to who qualifies and everything. So anyway, Jeff is in Hemlock. Jeff, good morning to you.
Hey, Art, just on that topic, I don't know if this pertains to that conversation or not, but a lot of companies have gone to just calling it paid time off and not trying to determine whether someone's sick or not. They just say, hey, you get 25 days a year off, and you don't have to try to pretend you're sick if you want to go deer hunting or whatever. And so it's not called sick leave anymore. It's just
it's PTO.
So yeah, just PTO. So maybe that's, I don't know.
The reason
that's part of the conversation or not.
Yeah, the reason I know that is our company did that a number of years ago. So those of us that had...
I was in benefits before I retired, so I worked with a lot of companies, and that's what a lot of them did, because you have an HR person sitting there and you have somebody calling in, making coughing sounds, and then you see them on TV at a hockey game or something. And,
yeah. Well, our company did that a number of years ago, and it's a good benefit. It didn't take anything away from us. It just reallocated how we can use it. But if you use your sick days as vacation time and then you get sick, then you have a problem. So it's a crapshoot.
Another quick topic is just a little pet peeve of mine, I guess. But I'm a deer hunter, and I have some hunting property, and my son and I work hard at trying to make it, where the deer want to come there and all that kind of thing by putting in food plots and doing all those kind of things. But we don't use bait, not because we're against it, but because it's against the rules.
Right.
But it just bugs me that when you go to the gas stations, and I was following a guy that had a trailer that was loaded to the top with sugar beets and bags, carrots, and when other people do it, it makes it hard, because then all the deer, it's sort of like if you had a candy store next to your restaurant, the kids are going to go to the candy store.
Yep.
But it just seems to me that if the DNR is going to say that you can't bait, you need to cut the supply off or something, because it is frustrating for us who are trying to follow the rules to have tons and tons and tons of stuff sold. And it, you know, the enforcement is very difficult because they're out in the woods.
Now, I remember in the early days of this conflict, when they first banned it, it was just territorial. It was in a certain region. Is it now statewide that you can't bait?
It's in the lower. You can. There are certain areas in the Upper Peninsula that you can still use bait, but it's statewide now in the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah. That's a topic I will have to discuss with Mike Avery, because I know very little about it.
Yeah, I know there are hunters who look down their nose at anyone who baits, because they say, well, that's not. But, you know, if you have a small parcel of land, you know, I have 40 acres. It's not like you can go out and scout your property and find where the deer are. You sort of have to bring them in, you know, and you have agricultural plots.
So do the food plots work?
The food, well, yeah, they do, but you really have to work at it, because they have to be, you know, coming up in a tasty kind of time of year when the deer, and usually they want to sprout a little early, and then the deer eat them all up. Yeah, but they help some, but they're a lot of work.
Yeah,
sure, a lot easier just to
drop
take
bait.
a bag of sugar beets out and dump it, and than it is to go up there in August and you know, put seed in and, you know, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's just a little. I drive by the gas, and I realize it's an economic issue for the gas station. That makes money for the party stores and all those kind of things. So
let me ask this question of you: was the hunt successful this year so far? Well, now it's
my son and I always shoot a doe for a family that I give the meat to, and I shot a doe Sunday morning, and my son got a doe with his bow. So it's semi-successful, but we haven't seen, you know, I'm at an age, I'm 68, so I just like to be able, if I see deer and I get a chance at a deer, I enjoy just being outside. But my son's at the age where he's a little more goal-oriented and more deer.
Got it. All right. Listen, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, we're pushing toward the end of the hour here, so we will take a break and then come back and finish up.
Baking cakes wasn't part of Edible's original game plan, but who can resist a slice of rich chocolate cake topped with strawberries and whipped frosting? Probably not you, and definitely not us. Sweet for sharing or sweet for snacking on your own, these chocolate masterpieces are just the right size for birthday parties or those random treats for you at edible.com and pick up your chocolate cake with strawberries and whipped frosting today. Be sweet today with a sweet from Edible Arrangements on Tittabawassee and Saginaw.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalize this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even... That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
It's Mark Lave and Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
That puts the first hour of the Art Lewis Show to bed. I'll move on to hour number 2, which will be open phones for the entire hour. That follows the news from CBS, the National and International Report. Michael Pershall will have the local report for you, bringing you up to date on the Saginaw and Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we will be back with more.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
News on the hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. At least 2 people have been killed in Montgomery County, Alabama, one of several southern states getting slammed with violent weather.
Severe storms, including possible tornadoes, have left several people injured and caused widespread damage and power outages across the mid and deep south. Serena Brannon rode out the nasty weather at an emergency shelter in the college town of Oxford, Mississippi.
I've never been in a tornadoes, and since they put a big emphasis on it, that made me want to come and really try to be safe.
Heavy rain from the storms has prompted flood warnings and watches across the south and southeast. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
More than 20 tornadoes have been confirmed. An upgrade on economic growth. The government's revised the third quarter GDP from an initial estimate of 2.6% to 2.9%. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
So far, holiday retail sales have shown that consumers are willing to spend. It's likely that the economic expansion was also positive, but it's really next year where economists are focusing their energy.
A former Chinese president credited with guiding his country's economic rise has died. CBS's Lucy Kraft.
Jiang Zemin was unlike many of his peers, known for giving speeches in English, singing Elvis Presley at an international meeting, and even telling jokes. He sought to build ties with the U.S. and was one of a handful of foreign leaders to meet former President George W. Bush at his Texas ranch.
Jiang Zemin was 96. Secretary of State Blinken is at a NATO meeting in Bucharest, where he's condemned Russia for leaving the country in Ukraine in dire straits ahead of winter.
Over the past several weeks, Russia has bombed out more than a third of the energy system, plunging millions into cold, into darkness as frigid temperatures set in.
The U.S. is rushing to raise money to help repair that infrastructure. Not everyone on Hawaii's Big Island is disappointed. The world's largest active volcano is erupting.
I always wanted to see Mauna Loa. Of course, I didn't want the eruption to harm anybody, but I always hope and dream for something like this.
She's among a new rush of tourists clamoring to take pictures. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is there.
Scientists say 2 new lava flows formed yesterday and managed to cross a private road, cutting off power and access to the Mauna Loa Observatory facility.
Wall Street Journal is reporting the FDA is drafting new guidelines to allow more gay and bisexual men in monogamous relationships to donate blood without abstaining from intimacy. This is CBS News.
We get it. A single hire can make or break everything. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews, all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
We're proud to make Pioneer family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals going on right now from Kokomo's Family Fun Center, Westside Decorating, Third Gen Tire and Service Center, Applied Training Solutions, and Style Encore. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So, for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 32 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Kirchhoff. President Joe Biden visited the new SK Siltron CSS facility in Bay City on Tuesday. WSGW's Jonathan Dent was there.
After touring the silicon wafer factory, which opened in September, the president spoke about investments in American manufacturing that he says will ease long-term supply chain issues. He also discussed the development of skilled workers to fill those manufacturing jobs.
We're going to make sure all American workers with college degrees and without college degrees are prepared to compete with anyone in the world. We're working with companies and community colleges, technical schools, union-led apprentice training programs to make that happen.
Biden praised the CHIPS and Science Act, which passed earlier this year, and said that Michigan, the state that put the world on wheels, in the transition to electric vehicles through the manufacturing of components like the silicon carbide wafers that SK Siltron produces. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Police in Emmett County arrested a Sebring man Thanksgiving Day after allegedly breaking into a home. Police say the homeowner, who was not at home at the time, received a call from his alarm company and saw the suspect, 36-year-old Irvin Spivey, on his home security cameras. Police responded to the house on West Beaver Road in Bear Creek Township, where they saw a garage entry door was open and damaged and a vehicle in the driveway. While waiting for backup to arrive, the suspect exited the house and police made an arrest without incident. Spivey is held in the Emmett County Jail on a charge of third-degree home invasion. His next court date is December 14th. WSGW News Time.
George Thorogood, bad of the ball, shaking down the thunder. Wednesday, December 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Plug in and rock hard. Tickets start at $45. Around CLE at the box office and tickets.com. The New Year's street party starts here. George Thorogood and the Destroyer. Wednesday, December 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Frankenmuth Credit Union presents the 6th annual Bay City Country Music Festival, Thursday, June 15th, featuring Jimmy Allen.
Girl, what's your name? What you drinking? Yeah, what's your
And Friday, June 16th, featuring Mitchell Tenpenny.
Cause drunk me can't get over you.
And this year, a third show on Saturday, June 17th, featuring Nelly. Get your tickets today at KenSheltonPromotions.com. Also sponsored by J&B Boots USA.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast. One man is now in custody after he was caught with hundreds of images of child pornography, including evidence of sexual exploitation of a 4-year-old girl on his phone. 37-year-old Jonathan Thomas Bridget has a long history of this behavior, according to U.S. District Judge, and has received treatment in the past. Bridget was sentenced to 30 years behind bars with an additional 5 years of supervised release after his sentence. Expect to see a lot more variety in the electric vehicle market. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
There are 48 EV models today. That'll more than triple to 159 in 2025. The numbers Insight, which says that's eroding Tesla's share of the EV market from 79% last year to 65% now to 20% in 3 years. Biggest growth area for EVs, the under $50,000 market.
Flags are being lowered to half-staff statewide on public buildings and grounds to honor the victims of the Oxford High School shooting, which occurred a year ago today. The state of Michigan will join in a moment of silence today at 12:51 p.m. to honor those students. Governor Whitmer says it's been a year since we lost 4 beautiful young souls in Oxford and 1 year since the community was changed forever. She says that terrible day let us reaffirm our commitment to healing and supporting the Oxford community. Michigan State Senate has voted to move up Michigan's presidential primary. The state primary is now held the second Tuesday of March, but this would move it to the second Tuesday in February, and it would make Michigan one of the first presidential primaries in the country. The bill has to pass the state house and be approved by both national parties. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW cast. A wind advisory is in effect here for the forecast area. We'll see a few spotty areas of rain and snow mixing at times here early today, then becoming all snow with cloudy sky conditions. Temperatures steady early, then slowly falling. Breezy winds out of the west around 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 45. And then for tonight, chance for some flurries, cloudy low near 25. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 36. And Friday, cloudy, high around 48 degrees. Saturday, a chance for rain showers, breezy and cloudy, high 52. Then by Sunday, mostly sunny, high 38 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 31.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Delighted to be with you on this Wednesday morning. Open phones for this entire hour at 989-752-6111. There was a report from Stockholm, and the headline is "Half of World's Democracies in Decline." It says that half the world's democratic countries are experiencing an erosion of democracy intensified by war in Ukraine and economic crisis, according to an international think tank. Now, this is their opinion. And one of those countries is us, the United States. And we are considered to be backsliding. And the number of countries in that category has increased from 6 to 7 in 2022. And they include the United States, El Salvador, Brazil, Hungary, India, Mauritius, and Poland. And they singled out the U.S. as particularly worrying because of what they're seeing in the United States: political polarization, institutional dysfunction, threats to civil liberties, that according to the report. Well, I have said before, and I don't mean to say this from a position of total ignorance of the situation, but I have said before that the United States is resilient. It has gone through many, many crises in its history, this just being another one. It may be a little different this time. There certainly is more polarization because of social media and the way we communicate. But I am not a pessimist when it comes to the United States. I am an optimist because of the resilience we've shown in our history. Having said that, it does pay to be diligent. The Founding Fathers gave us the right to challenge our government if we see something we don't like We have the right to speak out against it. We have the right to protest. And using that right is an essential part of the success and survival of this country. I think we need to get back to a time when the press, and I use the word press as opposed to media, because I want to infer that I'm talking about journalism. It's a time when we need to get back to the watchdog assignment that the founding fathers gave the press in this country. That's what freedom of the press was all about, was being the watchdogs on government, not the political spokesperson for any one party or another, which it seems some have become. We were supposed to be the eyes and ears of the public, so that the public knew what their government was up to in a straightforward, journalistic manner. The who, what, where, why, when, how of a story. Somehow we've seemed to have moved away from that. I lay a lot of that on the advent of cable and the 24-hour news networks that had to have time, had to have something to fill their time with, and started off on this path of talking heads and the talking head panels that I call them, which became very political very quickly. So I do think we're resilient. I do think the country has the ability to survive the challenges, but we need to be diligent. And we need to be respectful of each other's opinions. It's okay to disagree and then go out to lunch with somebody. I do it all the time. I have a lot of friends who politically we don't agree on very much, but we're very good friends because we respect each other. One of the things you don't have the right to do is to force your opinion on the government by riot. As Stuart Rhodes has learned, if you don't need that name, he is the man who created and founded the Oath Keepers. He was convicted yesterday of seditious conspiracy for a violent plot to overturn President Joe Biden's election. That, of course, has to do with the January 6th incident. They found him guilty after 3 days of deliberations and a 2-month-long trial. He faces now up to 20 years in jail. You have the right to speak out against your government. You do not have the right to force your opinion on the government. And, I think that January 6th was a lesson, a disruptive lesson in this nation's history. But again, I believe in the resiliency of this representative republic. We've been through other crises in our history, and we've managed to come out of them. And I don't think this is any different. But it is a time to be diligent. Of that, I absolutely agree. Because we certainly don't want to fall into the kind of country that others are, like China, for example. China vows, this headline, China vows a crackdown on hostile forces as the public tests Xi, the president. China's ruling Communist Party vowed to resolutely crack down on infiltration and sabotage activities by hostile forces. In other words, When its citizens protest, they're hostile forces. There have been massive protests in China, in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and other cities. And this is something that they are not used to. And a lot of those protesters have been calling for the resignation of President Xi. But the Central Political and Legal Affairs Committee will put out a show of force with police, and have, in a paramilitary way. And they will put down the revolts and the protests. Don't want that kind of a country, do we? For all of the problems we may have in this country, we need to be thankful that we still have the right to speak out. We still have the right to protest. We still have the right every couple of years to change our government. The change wasn't as big as anticipated, but we did change the House. Republicans will now control the House of Representatives. And that tends to be our history. When we get fed up, when we don't like the way things are going, economically, politically, you name it, we tend to get up in arms and change things. And by up in arms, I don't mean we take up arms. We go to the poll. We change our government. We change our president. And for the most part, we do so peaceably. January 6th was an anomaly. It did not make us look good in the eyes of the world. But we're getting over it. This past election is an example. For the most part, it was uneventful. Are there glitches? Yeah, there's always glitches in every election. Machines break. Somehow ballots get lost. But enough to upset the apple cart? No. It was, for the most part, a fairly normal, quiet, peaceful election. It's the way this country has operated since its beginning. And again, I'm an optimist. I think that's the way we will continue to operate. And if we get fed up again, we'll make changes again. All right. Lines are open for you. You can give us a call, 989-752-6111. That or anything else you want to talk about, we'd love to hear from you. I want to talk to you about your sleep. Did you get enough of it last night? You know, in this day and age when we're asked more to do more for less, you really need a good night's sleep. And that quality sleep can be had on a sanitary mattress made right here in your own backyard. Sanitary Mattress has been building mattresses right here. Every mattress they sell, they've built right here since 1935. It's a quality product built to your specifications. And they offer 1 hour window delivery of your home to your home, so you don't have to wait around all day. You'll know when it's going to arrive. And it's custom made to your desires. And not only that, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress can custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Give them a call today. Sanitary Mattress. They're out there on Janes east of the Harry Brown Airport. You can find them on the web at sanitarymattress.com. You can give them a call, 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. Give them a call today and sleep well tonight. We'll be back.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Support small this holiday season. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. New this year, December 17th, Santa's Shop, where the kids can buy items under $10 from local retail small businesses, wrap them up, and give them to family and friends. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we hope to see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located in Washington, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Experience our new menu and our historic atmosphere. Custom burgers, flatbreads, craft beer, and more. How about Thursday beer night and happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m.? Join us Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Attending an event downtown Saginaw? Show us your tickets for 10% off your entire purchase. Support small, get on board, and we hope to see you inside the boardroom.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The country's third quarter GDP was revised up. The government says the U.S. economy grew at a 2% rate from July to September, despite high interest rates and chronic inflation. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. One big loser today, cybersecurity company CrowdStrike, sinking about 20%.
They're forecasting weaker than expected sales growth, and that's despite reporting a pretty strong summer quarter. Disappointingly slow new signups. What we call recurring revenue. That's what we call subscriptions these days.
Fox's Susan Lee. And the latest numbers out show private sector job creation was much weaker than expected. The November ADP report showed 127,000 new jobs, well below the 200,000 analysts were expecting. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
We conquer cancer. For the mom-to-be who is out of treatment options. For the doctor who has a brilliant idea but needs research funding. For the people who climbed incredible heights while they were with us. For the children who celebrate the end of chemo. We conquer cancer for all who have been touched by it. Conquer Cancer accelerates breakthroughs in research and care for every cancer, every patient, everywhere. Join us at conquer.org.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore Thjere, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. This will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, another episode of What the Heck Did Joe Biden Just Say? Get your Josetta Stones ready.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And lines are locked and loaded. Carol, Al, and Alvin. Let's start with Carol and Sheridan. Carol, good morning.
Good morning, Art. It's really breezy here, too. We're just hanging on to our power. I've always been interested, and I had a dear old neighbor that always said the horrendous treatment of our Native American people. And the other night, John was cruising with the TV, and they was having hearings on its House Bill, let's see, I wrote it down here, in 55, I think it's 5044, and about the schools and how it's 5044, and how they've the parents
and
put them in these schools in the horrendous treatment of these children.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are dead. And do you know what the status of this is now, or how far it's gone? Or...
Still being investigated, still being looked at, still being talked about. Not only here, but in Canada too. They had similar issues. So it's an ongoing process. I don't know when it'll come to a fruition, but it is something that is being very diligently looked at.
Well, I hope so. Well, and that we celebrated Thanksgiving, and the Native Americans, within a year, they had them all knocked off. So I don't know. Our treatment of other people have been very
well.
Very
We need to bring this to a head and bring it to a conclusion, because it's a sad moment in history.
Well, I don't know, and I think Mount Pleasant's a big player in this. And
well, that's speculation, so don't go there. I mean, that's an accusatory statement, and you don't know that for a fact.
Oh, it isn't. That isn't. So, but the people there, then there will be those folks from Mount Pleasant. Then we'll have or when they dig up these grave sites and find how many bones there are or something, and then we'll know better, right? Because many of them were murdered. So.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
All right.
I was just wondering what the status was.
Yeah, it's ongoing. That I can tell you.
So bring to light some of this terrible treatment. We don't even want to hear about it. It was awful.
All right.
Okay.
Good enough.
Well,
Thanks. Bye-bye
have
now.
more fun the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And let's talk to Al in Midland. Al, good morning.
On the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show, that's a really great show. Those guys are very entertaining. Glad Alpha Media is partnered with them. Hey, last week was the anniversary of JFK's assassination. And I happened to watch a video that was recently done. I don't know, it was in 2022. The lady's a mortician, and she does investigative work into kind of a little bit. And she goes through this thing of how the body was handled and moved in and out of the hospital, and they borrowed a casket from a mortuary down there, and they broke the handle on it. They busted the hinges on it. They couldn't get it up in the airplane. They couldn't get it in and out of the hospital rooms because the doors were too tight.
Well, they broke the handles to get it in the airplane.
Yeah, they broke one of the handles.
Yeah, to get it in the airplane.
Yeah, to get it in the airplane, and they had to remove seats. And it's kind of a keystone operation. It made the FBI and the Secret Service in this documentary that she did. And
she must have had a purpose then, because realistically, considering the way it happened and how fast they got him out of there and how fast the new president was sworn in, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, the country was in shock. I kind of understand that, but his heart was still beating. Apparently, they got him in the operating room, and his heart was still beating. But how
does she know that?
Anyway,
how does she know that?
She had information from the medical people there at the hospital. It's all part of this documentary that she did. It runs about 40-some minutes, and it's kind of a tough thing to watch. But anyhow, the first casket, they ended up they drilled holes in it and threw it off airplane to sink it in the ocean, because the mortician fellow wanted it back at the funeral home because he had people looking to buy it for $100,000 or more for a museum thing. Kind of morbid there too, but
good.
Anyhow, they settled on a mid-price, I guess, white casket or something like that Bobby and Jackie Kennedy had chosen. And
so what's the point of all that? Who cares?
It was just it's kind of a strange deal that this still pops up every now and then. This lady happened to have an inside track on things that nobody else had ever talked about.
Right. So you wonder how inside her track really was.
Well, she's a mortician, and
That's right. She's a mortician. Was she his mortician?
Yeah, no, she is a mortician.
Was she his mortician? Was she there?
She has an inside track with.
Right. So she's getting her information. She's getting her information from other people.
Right. The other people that talked to the medical people that were in the operating room when Kennedy was there, nurses and various other medical staff. I don't know how many orderlies or anything like that, but there's a lot of inside information that never got out.
Yeah.
And
all right.
I just thought it was very interesting to listen to this lady and how everything was handled. I just thought it was weird.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Bye now.
Have a good one. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Alvin in Saginaw. Alvin, good morning.
Hey, how's it going, Art?
It's going good. Before we get started, you have to do me a favor. You have to send me your contact information. I thought I had it, and I don't. Send it to Art Lewis, ARTLEWIS, at WSGW.com.
Okay, at the site. I will do that, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. I guess I was saying, and idealistically, I agree with you, America's ability to fix itself. But I've noticed a change in America since I've been around a long time, but not as long as you, but I've been around a long time. And I think if the people change, then our ability to fix it ourselves kind of diminishes. Because what I've noticed is that we used to, even if we didn't agree on stuff, we sort of had the same values back in the day. This is now that America, the populace is changing. I can remember when I was a kid, like, for instance, I didn't know anybody who didn't have a father in the black community. And I grew up, like, on the east side of Saginaw. Everybody had fathers. And I think those little things sort of take away from foundational similarities and truths and leadership and just a sense and what has value. And so, and people, and I didn't know anybody who wasn't of some faith. And another thing I noticed is that, our ability to fix ourselves a lot of times has to do with just having a common value. Even people who did the wrong thing, we all had sort of an understanding of what was right because of the way the populace was.
All right, Alvin.
So
Alvin, hang on. I got to take a break. I want you to hold on. Don't hang up. I want to carry this conversation further. So we will be back to talk more with Alvin when we return.
Choosing a Medicare plan is a big decision. And with all the options out there, it would be nice to sit down and talk with someone who knows all about Medicare plans. Well, United Healthcare has Medicare plan experts right here in Michigan, ready to help answer all your Medicare questions. Call a local United Healthcare Medicare plan expert today at 989-860-7607. That's 989-860-7607. Or go to myuhcagent.com. From October 15th to December 7th, the United Healthcare Medicare Plan Expert is a licensed sale agent / producer. We could all use a little more sweetness in our lives. Edible is your local stop for sweet treats and special gifts for any occasion, from spectacular chocolate-dipped fruit bouquets to refreshing smoothies and creamy cheesecakes. Edible makes it easy to treat yourself and others to something sweet. Find a store near you at edible.com and pick up a Fruit Fix box of chocolate-dipped apples, bananas, and strawberries for only $9.99. Be sweet today with a sweet from Edible Arrangements on Tittabawassee in Saginaw.
Your bills are due on the 13th, but you don't get paid until the 15th. Sound familiar? Life doesn't always wait for payday. Get the NetSpend All Access account for your everyday mobile banking needs and get paid up to 2 days faster with direct deposit. Get started today at netspend.com and go beyond banking. Banking services provided by an account established by Pathward NA member FDIC. Faster access based on comparison of our ACH process. Funds at settlement. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
You want to be a showstopper like The Miz? You want to be awesome? Then you'll want to have a game plan. Whether you're a champion or a bettor, you've got to be responsible. The DraftKings Sportsbook offers all the tools you need. You can set a realistic budget and bet within your means. You can set time, deposit, and wager limits so you can have a personal game plan for having fun while being responsible. I practice safe bets, and so should you. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn about all these tools and more.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/responsible gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. approaches. Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. You don't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we are in conversation with our buddy Alvin. And just as a full disclosure, I've known Alvin for 40 years. We were all involved in the Saguenay's drum corps together, and he is certainly a quality individual who I've known and loved for a long time. You were talking about the change in us as people, and another change I've sensed, which I want to get your thoughts on, and that is, it would seem that we have to some degree moved away from the religious foundations of this country, and that faith is beginning to take a back seat in our lives. And I know you've been involved in religion for a long time. What do you think?
Well, that's one of my points. You know, when I was younger, I really didn't know anybody who was now they may not have been seeking after God strong, but I didn't know many people who called themselves atheists. That's like a banner now. There's so many people who, and listen, if you want to be atheist, that's fine. But the point is it all has to do with the erosion of our commonality, because our sin comes from the Judeo-Christian ethic, and as our society. I remember, like I was saying, even people who did wrong, we still had to, even people who were doing wrong, they had the same sense of what was right and wrong. And now we've redefined those things. Those borders really don't exist. So I don't know who the quote was, but somebody said America will be great as long as America is good. And that didn't mean that everybody in America was good. It was talking about the ideology of America's stance on things. In fact, our greatest society was probably slavery, but we always had pushback on anything that was wrong. We had the abolitionists. We had people who fought for what was right. We had a civil war, you know. The thing is, that doesn't mean everybody in the South is necessarily bad. I think everybody always had the sense of what was right and wrong, even if they were deviating from it, because we had a commonality of faith in the country. You know what I'm saying? So it made us examine ourselves, and I think the abolitionists didn't necessarily they put it out there so you could connect with your conscience. So many people don't have any conscience to connect with because of what's lacking in the society now, and so as the society changes, then our ability to fix ourselves erodes.
So So what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you attribute that change to?
It's not just. I think it is the Judeo-Christian ethic, but back then, people who didn't believe, they still had a foundation of the Judeo-Christian ethic. So we could always talk about what was the things that we had in common. But if you redefine what is good, and if we start calling unacceptable things acceptable in society, then we got to be very, very careful, because then you have polarization. You have totally people who are living polar opposite of each other, because our definitions are so different. So we confuse it with words like tolerance and we're nebulous in all of our ways. We're very lukewarm as a society. So it's hard to hook onto something that has something foundational together that is beyond politics, that's beyond any of the crazy stuff that we find ourselves caught up in. So it's really until people start to come together on what's foundational, principled foundation. I'm not even talking about religion. Principled foundation. You know, that's the only way America can ever fix itself. You know, it's okay to disagree on the methodology of getting the right thing to happen, but when you disagree on the very foundation of what is right or wrong, that's a totally different issue.
Yeah, I hear you. That's right. Well, listen, I'm glad I held you over, because I wanted to hear what you had to say about it. And I knew you were
no problem, sir.
Knew you were somebody that got into it thought-wise, and it was an interesting discussion. I appreciate it, Alvin. I'll look forward to your information.
No problem, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.
You too.
Bye. Quality, I have to tell you, folks, I mean, I've known Alvin, as I said, for 40 years. Respect him. Tremendous, tremendous individual. And one of these days, he's one of those people, you know, I'd like to shine a light on certain people, and he's one of those people. I'd love to just sit down with him for an hour and talk about his life and talk about things. There are a number of people like that. One of these days, maybe next year, we'll start doing that. I think it's a good idea. We're going to take a break. Lines open for you. You can give us a call, 989-752-6111.
Save big when you upgrade with new appliances from Menards. We offer the lowest prices with the largest in-stock appliance selection, ready to take home today. Whirlpool appliances are meant to make your life easier. Upgrade your home with top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient appliances and save big money at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card always makes for a great gift idea.
When we told growers that New Bear Premium Tri-Volt herbicide for corn delivers visibly clean fields for up to 8 weeks, they were a bit skeptical.
We'll see how it works.
So we decided to prove it. We set up cameras in multiple cornfields, treated them with Tri-Volt, and filmed for 24 hours a day. For 8 weeks, we saw a variety of weather conditions, and Tri-Volt worked. See for yourself at TriVoltInAction.com. Tri-Volt is a restricted use pesticide. Consult your state pesticide regulator for specific restrictions. Read and follow pesticide label directions.
I think farming picked me. I didn't pick farming. I'm not afraid to try something new. It's my farm, my family, and our future. My channel Seedsman gets that. I get access to innovative products with personalized advice backed by data to maximize. With Channel, I know I'll prosper for years to come.
Define your future at channel.com/future. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices. Copyright 2022 Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos.
You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's a better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Is Frankenmuth Aerial Park on your Christmas list? Here's your chance to save up to 40% off regular adult passes. This Black Friday deal ends on December 17th. Find more info at zipandclimb.com.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your WSGW morning team.
The announcement has come from the National Toy Hall of Fame. We know the inductees for 2022.
All right.
3 are going in. We have a picture on our morning team site in case you want to check that out.
What? He-Man?
Yes, the Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
And
a top?
Yes.
The top?
The top.
The top. What?
The top is one of the oldest toys, more than 5,000 years of history behind the top.
And it's really simple.
Exactly. By the way, the ones that didn't make it, Bingo didn't make it, Briar Horses, Nerf.
Yeah, how does Nerf not make it?
How
does
Nerf not make it?
Racco and Spirograph.
Paragraph. Was that really a toy?
I guess it's in the classification of playing games.
I mean, it felt like they were trying to sneak in schoolwork with that. It's like geometry or something like that, yeah.
Art and geometry.
I'm making circles and making diamonds.
I didn't like that.
How dare you?
I didn't like that. I did.
Your morning team. WSGW.
Larkin calmly picks it up, slowly makes his way in on goal. Now steps it up, shoots and scores!
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you here on WSGW. I was amused by the promo about the Toys Hall of Fame. Thinking back to when I was a kid, and comparing the toys today to the toys I had back in my day. I had two major toy interests, if you will. Lionel trains was number one, and erector sets was number two. I cannot imagine erector sets as they were back then being sold today with our concerns about everything. Can you imagine a set of metal pieces, sometimes with sharp edges, being put together with little tiny screws and nuts, swallowable, if you would, in today's world? However, that kind of toy gave me lifelong skills in working with my hands, how to build things, how to do things. I built a lot with the erector set. The most famous thing I built was the parachute jump that was prevalent out in Coney Island. The erector set had a plan for a parachute jump, and it actually worked, had a motor and everything. Now we're talking about the 50s, fairly early 50s. I can't imagine a product like that being sold today with our concerns about all the little tiny things. And that back then it was owned by the A.C. Gilbert Corporation, and they were competitors to Lionel in their train sets. And growing up in New York, I had the advantage of going in lower Manhattan, and I kind of forgot the streets now. I think it was around 14th Street or somewhere down there. Lionel had a huge showroom with a tremendous layout. And practically across the street, just a few blocks away, was the A.C. Gilbert Hall, where they had erector sets and their trains and everything. Talk about a playground for kids. I mean, it was just amazing. And every year, B. Altman and Company, a big department store in downtown New York, in the 50s, had a $35,000 Lionel train layout. Can't imagine what that would cost today for the size of layout. It was a huge, huge layout. Upstairs on the floor where the children's clothes and shoes and things were, and toys. And they really, those things lasted. my skill with my hands and building models and things of that nature developed from being able to play with the erector set and construct things and let my mind go wild as to what I wanted to build. Good times. But today it's all about electronics and things of that nature. Let's talk to Errol in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
I'm going to talk about something else, but just in case you think it's cold here, I talked to someone last night that was 45 below. I'm going to have school today, so I can tell you where it's at, but I have to kill you.
I'm guessing northern Canada.
Yeah, you think about 100 miles below James. The gentleman you had on earlier, I wish you would make him a guest host once in a while. I enjoy listening to him, and he's just enjoyable to listen to. Why don't you give him his own show the next time you need a fill-in someplace?
Listen, I'll mention it. You never know. I'll mention it. I think what I'm going to do, though, before that, I think what I'm going to do is have him on as a guest.
That would be great. I enjoyed him every time you've had him.
He's called in. He's called in before. Yeah.
Yes. So if you think, if you consider that, I would appreciate it. So give me that for a birthday present.
I'll give you that for a birthday present. All right. When's your birthday?
Okay. In May the 7th.
Oh, we got time to worry about it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've got another about 40 years to live, so I'm not going anyplace.
Well, good. Because I'm going to outlive you. That means I got a long time.
Well, I'm put on this earth. We've been successful. We'll talk to you, sir.
Errol, take care, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. Is another guy I've known a long, long time. As a matter of fact, Errol, I think, was probably one of the first people I met when I came to Saginaw. I went out to cover a fire in Saginaw, and there he was. He was in the fire department. He was a battalion chief, and he actually would talk to the media. So known him a long, long time too. It is interesting when you've been around, and I've been around here since 1974, basically. You meet a lot of people. You come to realize that there are a lot of quality people, quality individuals in this region, as there are everywhere. But you get to know them. Even those you may disagree with, you get to know and you get to respect. Because with those types of individuals, you can have disagreements. You can sit down and discuss issues, make your points without getting nasty, without getting negative, and you walk away still liking each other, and you sit down and break bread with each other. Somehow I think, we've lost a little bit of that. I'm not going to say we've lost it altogether, because we haven't. There's still a lot of people that do it. I do it all the time. And I have very good friends that we do it with all the time. But I think as a premise, we can say that we have seen it diminished, that ability to communicate even when we disagree. That's too bad. That's too bad. It really is. All right. The preaching is over, ladies and gentlemen. Church is closed. And we're going to take our last break and come back and close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
It's Christmas. Keep it real. A real Christmas tree from Cluck Nursery will fill your home with holiday fragrance and Christmas cheer. So get everyone loaded up and travel out to Cluck's Nursery's beautiful Christmas tree fields to cut your own Christmas tree. Select from traditional spruce trees, Fraser fir, and balsam. Their large selection of pre-cut trees. Ask about Cluck's machine tree drilling featuring the Answer tree stand for straight and easy tree setup every time. Cluck's will drill, shake, bale, and load your tree at no extra charge. Also, check out their large selection of custom decorated wreaths, fresh garland, swags, and more. Munch on a free popcorn ball and warm yourself by the Yule fire. Keep family traditions alive with a visit to Cluck Nursery on Van Wormer Road, a half-mile south of Gratiot in Shields. Be sure to visit us online at clucknursery.com.
Okay, smile naturally. Perfect.
Cam's photography knows wedding season ramps up in a flash. They need to say I do to a studio assistant before clients go full bridezilla.
I'm so sorry. I have to get a different lens. I'll be right back.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Rocket Grab Plus has a special Black Friday deal for you from Supercute. For only $12.50, you are going to get a $25 gift certificate to Supercute in Freeland. This will make a perfect stocking stuffer. Supercute is a home decor and gift shop in Freeland. They have trendy clothing, holiday decor, giftable items, and so much more. Save this Black Friday with RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to head over to Focus, talk about Westside Decorating Center on Focus today. But before we do that, we have news from CBS. They'll bring you up to date on the world and the nation. And then Michael Perch will be in the newsroom to talk about the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then after that, we'll be back with Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve K. Have rolled through parts of the South. More than 20 tornadoes reported. CBS's Jim Crisula.
2 people were killed when a tree fell on their home outside Montgomery, Alabama. Several people were hurt, and there's widespread damage from Louisiana to Georgia. Keith Barnett is Emergency Management Director in hard-hit Elmore County, Alabama.
We've got a lot of first responders that are out there, a lot of our utility guys, a lot of public works folks that are out there hard working in the rain, still raining and lightning out there.
Tens of thousands are without power. The storms have also led to flash flooding across the South and Southeast.
Well, some in President Biden's own party are taking issue with his move to ask Congress to step in to head off a possible rail strike, as we hear from White House correspondent Weijia Jiang.
I asked Majority Leader Schumer whether he thought he had the votes in the Senate to pass this, and he didn't say yes. He's working on it. He'll see. But right now, the Progressive Caucus is unhappy. They are saying it's basically taking away the right to strike.
House action on a bill is expected later today. Indiana's Attorney General is asking a medical board to penalize a doctor who spoke about providing an abortion for a 10-year-old Ohio rape victim. The leader of the Oath Keepers militia group faces a possibly long prison term after his Capitol attack conviction. CBS's Scott McFarland.
A conviction for seditious conspiracy isn't just rare. The Department of Justice hasn't won one in nearly 30 years. And several other accused far-right group members face trial on that same charge in the coming weeks. One of those trials will likely be underway here January 6, 2023.
At a NATO summit in Romania, Secretary of State Blinken accused Vladimir Putin of focusing his, quote, fire and ire on Ukraine's civilian population, and warned a strategy of targeting infrastructure would not divide Ukraine's supporters.
Electricity for children, for the elderly, for the sick. These are President Putin. This brutalization of Ukraine's people is barbaric.
In Britain, when Prince Harry told of security fears for his wife, some cast doubts. Now, some new information.
In his last interview as the number 2 at Scotland Yard, Neil Basu has revealed that Meghan received what he calls disgusting and very real threats while a working royal. Basu's duties included overseeing royal protection, and he says the Duchess of Sussex faced genuine threats from the far right, for which several suspects were prosecuted. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 200 points. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
We all bring something unique to the table, and at Jolt Credit Union, we celebrate that. We're your advocate, invested in your well-being. Our roots run deep in the Great Lakes Bay region, And we understand that by helping our members achieve their personal goals, our whole community is made that much stronger. We're proud to serve our members with branches in Saginaw, Bay City, and Essexville. We make a promise to every member to give it all we've got, every day and everywhere. Bold ideas lead to memorable results. So roll up your sleeves and join us as we go all in. Become a member today by visiting a nearby branch or get started at Jolt Credit Union, offering a powerful shift to a better way of banking. Federally insured by NCUA.
You want to be a showstopper like The Miz? You want to be awesome? Then you'll want to have a game plan. Whether you're a champion or a bettor, you've got to be responsible. The DraftKings Sportsbook offers all the tools you need. You can set a realistic budget and bet within your means. You can set time, deposit, and wager limits so you can have a personal game plan for having fun while being responsible. I practice safe bets, and so should you. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn about all these tools and more.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and states.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Live from the 100.5 and 7. This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 31 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchup. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and state leaders continue to advance in Michigan in the tech sector. With President Joe Biden's visit to the Bay City area yesterday, touring the SK Siltron CSS facility, Whitmer says investments in the semiconductor chip industry are a boon for the region and the state. However, she says Michigan still needs to compete with other states to receive federal funding in attracting businesses in the industry. She says that the state does have a competitive edge.
First and foremost, we've got a skilled workforce. We've got more engineers per capita than any other state. We've got phenomenal institutions of higher learning, our universities, our community colleges, our paths to the trades. That has been such a hallmark of our past success and is critical to our future success.
Whitmer says the Game Change workforce development programs to help state residents become trained and find work without going into large amounts of debt shows how serious Michigan is in securing these investments. An Alma College board member and college alum wants to see a redevelopment project on a corner that's been abandoned for some time. Pine River Township Supervisor Kevin Beeson says 3 buildings at the corner of M46 and Alger Roads will be demolished. Eventually, the property will be developed into a $10 million project, bringing in a 50 to 80 room hotel. The former Travel Lodge and Big Boy Restaurant, more recently known as Woodbridge Inn and Suites and Piper's Grill and Brew, along with the Crocs Rocks Club located in what was once the Highlander Lanes bowling alley, were purchased by Greg Hatcher. Brownfield Redevelopment Act funds will help pay for cleanup of the site. Once the buildings are torn down and the site cleaned up, Beeson says construction can begin. He says the township is looking forward to seeing the hotel open and giving people a destination in Gratiot County where there's been nothing between Lansing and Mount. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Hi everyone, Eric Crane here with Crane's Aluminum Appliance Center, and I'm proud to announce that both of our locations are ready for the holidays. Whether it's kitchen or laundry, or any other need that you have, you'll find it here on Bay Road in Saginaw or 1556 West Carroll Road in Carroll. New, scratch and dent, and reconditioned appliances with name brands such as LG, Speed Queen, GE, and Frigidaire products. Don't forget, we stand behind everything we sell. Crane's Aluminum Appliance Center, locally owned and operated since 1956, is at 3260 Bay Road in Saginaw and 1556 West Carroll Road in Carroll, where we want to earn your business.
George Thorogood, bad of the ball, shaking down the thunder. Wednesday, December 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Plug in and rock hard. Tickets start at $45 and are on sale at the box office and ejix.com. The New Year's pre-party starts here. George Thorogood. Wednesday, December 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Police in Tennessee say the woman found dead in the trunk of a car in Dearborn suffered from a domestic violence incident before being killed. Murfreesboro police say 31-year-old Eleni Casa, whose body was discovered after a police chase ended in a crash on Sunday, was reported missing after she didn't pick her daughter up from school. Officials say Casa and her girlfriend, 36-year-old Dominique Hardwick, got into an argument at Casa's apartment before Hardwick drove to Michigan. Casa's body was found in the trunk of Hardwick's car after Hardwick led police on a chase and crashed when they tried to pull her over on Sunday. Hardwick took her own life after the crash. The investigation is ongoing. It's the most wonderful time of the year, which means thousands of people are flocking to farms to find that perfect Christmas tree. If you don't care for your tree properly, it could go up in flames. St. Clair Shores Fire Chief James Piper says alongside daily watering, it's important to cut your tree 2 inches above the base before you put it in the stand so it can absorb the water. Piper says using safe lights is important as well.
When you're bringing in a live tree, if you're handling everything safely, you're turning the lights off at night, you're using, more modern LED bulbs that don't have a lot of heat, and you're keeping that thing watered, you don't have as much of a concern. It's when you're not as careful as you should be is when that can be a problem.
For outdoor decorations, Piper says people do need to use quality ladder when hanging decorations and one that's tall enough for the job. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A wind forecast area. We'll see a few spotty areas of rain and snow mixing at times here early today, then becoming all snow with cloudy sky conditions. Temperatures steady early, then slowly falling. Breezy winds out of the west around 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting as high as 45. And then for tonight, chance for some flurries, cloudy low near 25. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 36. And Friday, cloudy, high around 48 degrees. Saturday, a chance for rain showers, breezy and cloudy, high 52. Then by Sunday, mostly sunny, high 38 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 30.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, easy, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com, or you can call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. And today, we will talk about a great local business, been around for a lot of years. And I'm pleased to say we'll soon be sponsoring the Art Lewis Show. And we say good morning to Mike Stoddard at West Side Decorating Center. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
So, you know what I'm going to ask right off the top. What's new at West Side Decorating Center? I do that all the time.
I was going to say, yeah, there's always something going on here, which is great. So besides our new open showroom, which we've expanded, if anyone hasn't heard, besides that, some new product offerings. One that we're really excited about, we've done really well with as far as customers coming in and looking at samples, is our new area rug selection. So we've got samples you can actually take home of area rugs. We have some in stock, and anything else can be ordered. Just takes a few days to come in, and they're really cool, very colorful. Tons of different varieties and every different size imaginable.
I was just going to ask about size. What constitutes an area rug by your description?
Yes. So I always used to think area rug, something quite large, but they go all the way down to a 2x3 size. So if you need something for in front of a sink or in front of a shower or something like that, they make those sizes. They make runners like 3x7 size, standard 9x12, 10x14, 12x15. Area rugs
in various patterns.
Yeah, pretty much any pattern you can think of. Colors are endless. We have, like I said, maybe about 100 samples that can be taken home and viewed in the store. We have catalogs to look at online in the store here if you don't find something you like in the store. So yeah, pretty much something for everybody.
Sounds like wallpaper.
It does. Yeah, there's a lot of wallpaper books here too to look through.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. And that's kind of making that it's real cyclical. It goes up and down, but it seems to be coming back a little bit, isn't it?
It does, yeah. And just interest in it in general tend to, like you said, are very cyclical. I think it probably goes with the economy, but we always like to let our customers know we've got about 400 wallpaper books here to look through. Our designers kind of know them front to back, so they can direct you in the right area to look. And then those can be checked out as well if you want to take them home and see how those colors look in your home.
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about flooring for a minute outside of the area rugs. I want to talk about hardwood or solid flooring. You have quite a bit of that product, don't you?
We do. And the cool thing, too, is because sometimes hardwoods can be expensive upkeep as far as, staining, repolyurethane, sanding down the road. We've got a lot of luxury vinyl tile that's vinyl that looks exactly like wood. I've got it in my home. There's really no maintenance except cleaning. So there's really no upkeep or anything. So it's kind of a win-win in that situation. So we have a lot of that to look at as well. Our designers will come out to the house, do the measuring, and figure out what style looks best and give you a hand with that as well.
Now, let me ask about that. Is that something, that type of vinyl flooring, is that something that the homeowner can lay themselves, or does it require a professional?
They can. So there's easier to install than the traditional like glue down floors. So we have there's click lock floors that just click together, and then we have something called a loose lay flooring from Carn Dean, and that flooring can be put over some other surfaces like basement floors as long as they're relatively smooth. And the loose lay will actually just lay over top of whatever surface you're going over. It has kind of a rubber backing on it, so it's anti-slip and it won't move around. So we have that in the store as well that customers can look at. And,
what type of patterns? Is it a wood grain pattern?
Yeah, they've got wood and tile look is the two most popular in the.
So that'd be ideal for a basement, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, something easy to do as long as you're able to, you feel comfortable with a knife and making some cuts. It's very easy to install.
Has the expanded showroom, given you more options in terms of product display?
Yeah, so we've been able to kind of expand our design department. So, like I said, the new area rugs are on the new side. We've got a lot of new flooring displays. We have one from Shaw called Pet Perfect. It's like a pet-friendly flooring carpet. So we have a huge display of that in the new showroom. But yeah, there's a couple other nice features of it. We have now a conference room. We have expanded storage, so we're able to buy in bulk and save our customers money, and also have product available instead of have to order it.
All right, hang on, Mike. I got to take a break, and we'll come back. We're talking to Mike Stoddard from Westside Decorating Center on this edition of Focus.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals going on right now from Kokomo's Family Fun Center, Westside Decorating, Third Gen Tire and Service Center, Applied Training Solutions, and Style Encore. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money, $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Somebody is remaking a horror movie.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, my.
Because the copyright ran out on Winnie the Pooh, and so now they can use the characterizations and such like that. And I guess the movie is coming out in February. Well, now, Bambi. The same person who wrote, produced, and directed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is also involved in a Bambi remake. The film will show Bambi as a vicious killing machine lurking in the wilderness. Subtitle of the movie says, "Prepare for Bambi on rabies." Bambi isn't happy that mom got killed.
Is Thumper the hitman or what?
The flower.
Well,
Flower is going to shoot him with a stink.
Actually, the film is going to be titled Bambi the Reckoning. First Winnie the Pooh, Bambi.
Let's face it, though. Piglet had it coming.
Well, apparently it's not our childhoods anymore.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You have the chance to win your mortgage or rent paid for in $18,000. It's the WSGW Home for the Holidays contest, presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online at WSGW.com. Look for the Home for the Holidays box. You can enter once per day with bonus entries too. Entry deadline December 21st. Home for the Holidays, presented by Dow Credit Union. Enter online, WSGW.com. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back with you, talking to Mike Stoddard from Westside Decorating Center at State at Weineke in Saginaw. With their new expanded showroom, they took over the space that was formerly occupied by the Saginaw Spirit and expanded into it, and now have doubled the size of the show. It's pretty much double, isn't it?
Yeah, we just doubled, so it's we got about 9,000 square feet, which for us is a very, very good size.
Let's talk for a minute about your designers, because that's a free service that really is worth the effort, isn't it?
It is. So we've got the interior designers that are not only able to help people that are coming in the store, but we are constantly going out to businesses, residences. We're able to bring, either color chips from paint companies, flooring samples. We do a lot of window treatments. So the designers will help put together something in a home or a business, and then be able to offer in-store service as well if you would just rather walk in and look at our samples in the store.
Yeah, it's interesting, Mike, because I think, a lot of people have thought of Westside Decorating for many, many years. Okay, it's where you get paint. But you were far more than paint, weren't you?
Yeah, so, my grandpa did start the business kind of as a supply area for his paint crews that he had in the 60s when the store was founded. But then as things grew and my uncle took a business over, it became a lot more than just paint. It was, wallpaper was huge in the 80s. Window treatments were added, flooring was added. Now we do custom bed spreads, we do draperies, we do a whole lot of custom things, which you don't find everywhere.
Bed spreads?
Bed spreads. We can even do headboards behind your bed. We can do custom headboards.
Really?
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless. We have a whole wall of fabric that can be looked at in the store here, and we can do anything from furniture to fabrics to pretty much anything.
So the decorating part of it is a lot more than paint, although paint is still a principal product, isn't it?
Yeah, paint is still a very big part of our business. Paints are some of the most durable on the market. So that's what we try to recommend for most of our customers, because we know that when people come in, they're looking for top quality products that they can just wash down and not have to touch up in the future. And ceramic paint provides that.
And let's talk about color matching. If I have something I want to match the color, can you do that, and how do you do it?
We can. So there's two different types of color matches we do. One would be if you had maybe been to another store and picked out a paint color that you really liked. We have cross-reference formulas for all of those colors. And then the other thing would be is if you have a fab piece of old paint or maybe some dried paint in a can that you want us to match, you can bring that sample in, and then we read that with it's called a spectrophotometer, and that reads the color, gives us a formula, and usually it's a perfect match the first time.
So, Mike, what about stains? Can you match stains too?
We can. So that's another big business of ours. Stain matching, there's two different types of stain matching as well. If it's a solid stain for outside on a fence, we can do it with the computer. If it's interior stain for a table, maybe somebody's got a table and they want to match up trim work or cabinets to their table, we just ask that they bring in a color that they want on it, and then the type of wood that they're going to be staining on, so we can do some samples there. And then that's more of a we do all that by eye. There's no machine that does that, so it's just experience.
It is, but it's interesting you mentioned the wood, because different woods take the same stain differently, don't they?
They do. So a lot of our customers will bring in their wood, which is great, because there can be red oak, white oak, pines can definitely stain different. And when we have that piece of wood, we can give them a really good stain match, as opposed to just looking at a color chart and picking the closest. Yeah. This is more of an exact match.
So what kind of hours do you keep?
We're here during the week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. And then we're here on the week on Saturday from 9 until 3 o'clock.
And you're located where?
Yep, 5789 State Street, right near Weineke. And our website, westsidedecoratingcenter.com. There's a live chat feature on there. If you have any questions, we can help you out that way too.
Perfect. Well, we will chat with you again. I'm sure I'll talk to you before the holidays, but if not, have a very Merry Christmas to you and your family.
You too, Art. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And as I mentioned, Westside Decorating is going to become the show sponsor for the Art Lewis Show, and we appreciate that. We'll be back to close out Focus and move on to the market report after this.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be.